Hitting a baseball is one of the most difficult things to do in all of sports. Ted Williams once said that the hardest thing to do in baseball is to hit a round ball with a round bat squarely. Williams was a pretty good hitter in his own right, a 500 home run club member and owner of the second highest OPS and OPS plus in history at 1116 and 191 respectively. It's safe to say that Teddy Ballgame squared up a lot of baseballs during his 19-year career. But Williams also excelled at another aspect of hitting, and that was, well, not hitting. Over the course of his career, Williams drew 2,021 walks, which helped him accumulate the best on-base percentage in baseball history at .482. But the art of the walk is something that's fading out of the current game, with home runs and immediate production triumphing the old get him on and get him over method. The three true outcomes have become the norm for hitters, but there's one man who's going against those norms. Carlos Santana has combined hitting for power and plate discipline, while keeping his strikeout count remarkably low. He's become an outlier in every sense of the word, and his 2020 season only confirms that. Carlos Santana is a modern power hitter with an old school approach, and he might just be the last of his kind. No. We're not talking about that Carlos Santana. We're talking about this Carlos Santana. The veteran switch-hitting first baseman who spent the majority of his 11-year big league career in Cleveland, with the exception of a one-year stint in Philly. In both of their respective professions, the goal of the Santanas is hits. The musician wants to top the charts and sell records, while the ballplayer aims to collect base hits and win ball games. We are fans of Carlos Santana the musician, but for the remainder of this video, any reference to Carlos Santana will be directed towards Carlos Santana the ballplayer. Carlos Santana made his major league debut in 2010, and since then he's been one of the most durable and reliable players in the game. His stat line isn't going to jump off the page at you, but it's still solid nonetheless. He's racked up over 1,300 hits, 300 doubles, and 240 dingers, while racking up an 812 OPS and 120 OPS plus over nearly 1,500 career games. He's been one of the best power hitters since coming into the league, but it's what happens when he doesn't swing the bat that really separates him from the pack. Carlos Santana is one of the best walkers in baseball. Yes, you heard that correctly, walkers. Walking isn't going to get you on the front page of any newspaper or even trending on Twitter, but it's a key part of the game. It rewards patient hitters who know the zone and avoid chasing a pitcher's pitch. But hitters who walk a lot are typically looked down upon by the greater baseball community because, in its simplest form, they aren't doing what they're paid to do. Hit. You can make the argument that walking takes more skill than hitting, as it's tougher to lay off 4 pitches out of the zone than it is to just put one in play, but that's not an avenue I want to travel down. When talking about walks as a stat, it really only comes up during the three true outcomes debate, mixed in between home runs and strikeouts. But Santana has been able to establish himself as one of the best power hitters in the game, while putting the ball in play and not compromising his elite eye in the process.
And there's ball 4.
In the dirt, ball 4.
Carlos Santana draws a free pass.
And he walked him, ball 4. He walked him.
And there's another walk for Santana.
Yeah, how about a little MLB 2K13 throwback for you? Man, I missed those games. But back to Carlos Santana. Since coming into the league in 2010, he's drawn 991 walks, second to only the undisputed walk king Joey Votto in that time frame. He's broken the 100 walk mark 4 times in his career, with a career high of 113 that led the major leagues in 2014. He drew an American League leading 47 walks during the 2020 season and was second in the major leagues behind only Bryce Harper. Walks are good and all, but combined with the ability to hit, it can be pretty deadly. Since his debut, Santana has reached base the 5th most of any player in baseball, behind only Joey Votto, an MVP winner, Andrew McCutchen, another MVP winner, Miguel Cabrera, a 2-time MVP award winner and Triple Crown champion, and Nick Markakis, who's arguably the most underrated player in baseball and a possible future Hall of Famer. Check out the video we did on him and see for yourself. Oh, and the person just behind Santana on this list? Just the GOAT, Mike Trout. First basemen are normally stereotyped as the big bruisers in the lineup and are supposed to drive the baseball. They're the guy who's supposed to drive in all the runs and provide a spark in the middle of the lineup. Santana quietly has been an impact bat, tallying 557 extra base hits in his career, the 16th most in baseball since he made his debut. Since 2010, there have only been 5 players to reach the 240 homer, 300 double, and 600 walk plateaus, and coincidentally they're all first basemen. Santana, along with Miguel Cabrera, Paul Goldschmidt, Freddie Freeman, and Joey Votto, are the only players to reach those marks. You know that you're an exclusive company when you start throwing names like Cabrera, Votto, and Freeman around. But just how has Santana sandwiched himself in there? If he's such an elite hitter, then why hasn't he received the recognition he deserves? He's only picked up a singular All-Star nod and Silver Slugger award, both of which came last year in 2019. He's been able to combine patience and power in a way that no other hitter in baseball has, making hard contact when he swings and not compromising his strike zone when he doesn't. Santana has made a career for himself on being patient and hitting the baseball hard, which is really the goal for any hitter. But Santana has taken it to the extreme. He doesn't chase pitches out of the strike zone and punishes balls inside of it. All of this starts with knowing when to swing the bat. Since 2015, Carlos Santana has swung at just 39% of all the pitches he's seen, which is well below the league average of 46.6%. One of the reasons that Santana only swings at 39% of the pitches he sees is because he actually sees less pitches in the strike zone than his fellow Major League Baseball players. The average big league hitter sees just 48.4% of all pitches inside the strike zone. You might be saying to yourself, wow, that basically means if you just stand up there at the plate, you're more likely to see a ball than a strike. Technically, you'd be correct, but just because a pitch isn't in the strike zone doesn't mean it isn't a strike. And no, we're not talking about robot umps. Better spin rates, harder breaking balls, and deception are a major reason why most of these are not in the zone, yet can result in a swing by the hitter. Santana has seen just 47.4% of his pitches inside the zone, a full percentage point lower than the league average. Combine a good eye with less balls in the zone than normal, and you get a hitter who doesn't swing the bat as much. When he does get fooled, however, his incredible bat-to-ball skills allow him to get away with it. Major league pitchers cause hitters to chase 28.2% of all pitches outside of the strike zone, turning balls into strikes. Santana, however, only chases 19% of all pitches out of the zone, meaning you really have to fool him in order to induce a swing. Even if you do fool Santana and cause him to swing at a pitch out of the zone, he's still likely to make contact. On the rare occasion that Santana swings at a pitch out of the zone, he's still making contact with those pitches at an astonishing 67% of the time, well above the league average of 59.4%. But the question I'm sure you're asking yourself now is, why does this matter? Why is it a big deal that Carlos Santana is so good at not swinging the bat? Why should anybody care about a mediocre player for an average baseball team actively not do the thing he's paid millions of dollars to do? It's important because in baseball, there are a lot of things that are out of your control. Most of the game is determined by other people, leaving what you do and your decisions extremely crucial. By controlling his game and knowing how he's been successful and will be successful, Carlos Santana is altering ball games and making opponents adapt to him rather than him having to adapt to them. But what about pitches inside the strike zone? You know, the ones you're supposed to swing at and hit pretty hard? Well, Santana's doing just that. He's making contact on 85% of the balls inside the zone that he's swinging at, a tad better than the league average at 82.8%. And he's not wasting those balls that he does swing at. Santana has produced a 40.9% hard hit rate, meaning a baseball hit harder than 95 miles an hour, significantly better than the league average of just 34.9. A major reason that Santana is hitting the ball so hard is that he's barreling up most of the pitches he's swinging at. On average, a major league hitter will barrel up around 6.5% of all balls that they hit, while Santana, on the other hand, is barreling up 8.1% of all baseballs he hits. His exit velocity reflects his elite barrel skills, averaging 89.8 miles per hour off the bat, compared to the league average of just 88.3 miles an hour. If you're more of a launch angle person, then he's better than league average at that aspect as well, producing a 13.3 degree average launch angle compared to the MLB average of 11.9. Honestly, what Carlos Santana has been able to do is nothing short of incredible. He's used his eyes as his greatest tool and deciphers what pitches to swing at and what pitches to drive. Both his walk rate and strikeout rate are significantly better than league average, both coincidentally at 15.4%. Since 2015, when StatCast started tracking this data, he has one more walk than strikeout. His expected weighted on base is also in the upper percentile in the league at 366, nearly 50 points better than the league average of just 321. Again, while the traditional slash line doesn't do Carlos Santana any justice, he's mastered the game within a game in knowing how to get on base. The next time you watch a Cleveland Indians game, be sure to pay close attention when Carlos Santana comes up to bat. You might think it's a boring at-bat or that he's taking a lot of pitches and working counts, but what he's actually doing is preparing himself. He's one of the few players in the league who knows exactly what they do well and won't let numbers or the new norms dictate their approach. Carlos Santana is one of the best pure hitters in the league, all thanks to an incredible set of eyes and discipline that he possesses.